chicken left. The last two just got eaten by that fucking coyote. What? What do you want? They're stupid. When you look at his strictly resume, Jon Jones is probably the most impressive of all time, but because of his out of the cage things, people, I don't want to say people forget about him, but they certainly don't think as highly of him as his resume would indicate. You know, when you think about the drug things, the PED things, and other stuff, they don't think as highly of Jon Jones as his resume would show.
Do you think that we'll see him soon, you know, making that heavyweight debut that he's been talking about? And I know there's been rumors floating around him versus Stipe.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm retired and I fight more often than Jon Jones. So, I mean, Jon Jones' last fight was literally the July 6th when I fought. He was on that card, and that's his last fight. You know, that's we're getting close to 2 years now. So he's got to get back in there sooner than later. You know, time as a fighter, I feel like time's never on your side. You know, as a heavyweight, he probably has a few more years. The lightweights usually age a little faster. Heavyweights can usually stay in it and be really competitive till around 40. So he probably has more time. But you know, him taking these big 2-year gaps, and he's had them previously where it's, I don't know if it's exactly 2 years, but you know, a year, 18 months off between fights. I feel like that greatly shortens your career. Like if you're a fighter, you only have a window that's relatively limited, and especially if you're not injured, if you're not rehabbing an ACL or something, you need to get in there as frequently as possible.
Helen Yee here in Wisconsin, being joined by the fan favorite, the one and only Mr. Ben Askren. Always great to see you, and I see that you appreciate the Schmoes watermelon for you.
It's quite the gift. I'm gonna snack on it myself later.
Yeah, housewarming gift. I know he had two, but unfortunately one already rolled off.
I think we're gonna give that one to the chickens. They're gonna love it. Schmo, you might be their favorite guest ever because they get a watermelon from you.
Yeah, you have a lot of chickens. This is like a beautiful home. You have, what, 11 acres?
Yes, and we have less chickens because the coyote keeps eating them, but we'll get more at some point.
Yeah, and hopefully the coyote just kind of stays far away, right?
We need to shoot the coyote.
Okay.
I don't own a firearm, though, so I'm trying to get my friends to come over and shoot him because I don't own a gun. So, do you guys have a gun?
The Schmo does. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, is it registered?
It should be, yeah.
Illegal firearms. No, I'm trying to get my I don't think we can just ask the coyote to like, hey, coyote, can you please stop eating the chickens? I think we actually have to shoot the coyote. So, and I think they're a nuisance, so I think it's cool to shoot them. I don't think we get any trouble. So I need to get my friends to come shoot the coyote because, yes, he has been snatching up our chickens. It's no good.
Yeah, your friends or the Schmo, I guess after we'll have to ask him with his registered gun. But speaking of shooting and also disc golf, I know you're really good at that.
Oh, fuck, look at that. I've been playing forever. Oh, get in the hole. No, why did fade fucking left?
Next weekend, the trophy's behind us. You have a tournament.
This just came in. This is for the Celebrity Pro. It's quite the trophy, actually. It looks really tremendous. Yeah, I'm excited for it. We hosted it for the first time last year because the Disc Golf Pro Tour, some of the events in Europe got canceled because Corona, and everyone really loved it last year, so they wanted to do it again. So I've been spending a lot of time chainsawing and brush cutting and burning stuff and getting ready for that. So it's next week.
Yeah, well, you've done a great job, and it's great to see that you're keeping busy. And I know you told the Schmo, like, you have a book coming out in October, so you have a lot going on.
Yeah, you know, my main area of focus is the wrestling academies. So we have 5 of those now with my brother and I. And we just had a couple of big tournaments. We had someone make the 20-under world team, so that's really cool. That's in middle of August. So I think I'm going to go to Bulgaria for that, and then we have a big national tournament next month. So that's kind of probably the main area of focus. We got the podcast also that I'm on for Flow Wrestling, and then the book was actually, I told the Schmo it was a coronavirus project, and I guess I thought it was going to go way quicker, but now now we're 2 years in, and I think it's getting released mid-October, so I'm pretty excited for that. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I know all the fans can't wait to read that book as well. But there's always so much going on, and especially in your former division in the UFC, the 170-pound division. Kamaru Usman has an upcoming rematch against Leon Edwards. What do you make of that rematch?
I guess I'm happy that Leon Edwards got the title shot because he has won a lot of fights in a row. That being said, he hasn't been super active lately. Like, I think he's had maybe 2 or 3 fights in the last 3 years. It's been really intermittent where he's fought. So I guess they do that. And then, I think Chimaev is probably the one with the most heat in that division where people are excited about him. I know his last fight versus Gilbert Burns wasn't as dominating as some people hoped it would be, but Gilbert Burns is a really good opponent. And so I don't think having a competitive fight with him I don't think it's as negative as some people are making it out to be. I think some people are making it out to be really negative, and I don't feel that way about it. So I think, he probably gets one more big win. I think Colby makes the most sense. Colby's number 1 and Gilbert Burns is number 2. There's no one else besides Colby above Gilbert Burns to get to, or I guess Leon Edwards is probably ranked up there somewhere. Or he probably shouldn't be above Gilbert Burns though. Anyways, I'll tell you, in my mind, it's Marty, Colby, Gilbert, and then Leon in my mind. So I think I would like to see Khamzat fight Colby. Probably make the most sense. I just don't know what's going to happen.
But what do you make of Khamzat's kind of fast rise, in the UFC, and just kind of what do you see as the future for him?
I think it's good. I think I think the faster you can move, the better. Because once you get your name out there, then you kind of only have big fights after that. You know what I'm saying? You don't go back to like the prelim type guys. So the guys who stay on the prelims for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 fights or more, that's kind of really a hard living because they don't make a lot of money. And if you get yourself in the mix in a title shot like that, like look at Conor McGregor. What's his record in the last 5 years? And we're still talking about him fighting Charles Oliveira. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get that big, it's you don't go back to the prelims. So I think Chimaev did a good job hyping himself and kind of getting to the upper echelon of the division. And now that he's there, I don't really foresee him kind of going back for quite a while.
But if he does end up fighting Colby, what you want, do you think he beats Colby, or how do you see that one playing out?
I think it's a hard. I think it's a hard fight. But I think, if he can't beat Colby, he's probably not going to beat Marty. So, and I think if you're Chimaev, you're like, hey, let's go freaking do this. I mean, I'm ready, right? I'm ready to fight the upper echelons division. I beat Gilbert Burns. There's really, in my opinion, Colby's probably the only one that's better than Gilbert Burns in the divisions. That's not the champion. So, I think that's the fight you got to do.
Do you see him as a future champion?
Good question. I don't know if he could beat Marty. I'm not sure.
The middleweight champion, Israel, he has an upcoming fight against Jared Cannonier next weekend. Who do you think takes that one?
I think Adesanya. He's really good. I mean, there's been a few performances he's had which weren't like amazing, but probably the greater majority of the time, he looks really ridiculously good, and I think he's probably just a better striker, and I don't see him getting taken down a bunch. So I don't really think Cannonier is going to win.
And lastly, someone else who's a great wrestler who's going to be coming out of retirement to fight again, someone you may know well, Henry Cejudo. What do you make of his comeback? Yeah, he's back in USADA. I saw the proof.
You saw the proof. I guess I didn't realize. I know Henry had been talking about it. But I guess I didn't realize he was actually back in the USADA pool. So I think he'll do great. I think he's probably, 34? I think he's 3 years younger than me, so he's probably 34 or somewhere around there. I think he's got
35, I think.
35. Oh, shit, he's getting old. I think Henry's probably got a few good years left, right? And I felt like when he retired, he probably didn't really mean it. I think he was maybe just frustrated with some of the contractual things that were going on at that point in time. So I think he's still got at least a few good years left in him. His body doesn't have a lot of miles. He hasn't had a lot of those wars like some people have where he's got knocked out or taken a lot of damage. So, yeah, I would say Aljo's the champion. I think him and Aljo's a highly competitive fight. I can't imagine he's going back to flyweight, right?
No, it's bantamweight, yeah.
Bantamweight, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a really competitive bout. I'm excited for it.
And for all your fans who can't wait to see more of you, what would you like to let them know?
You ain't going to be seeing more of me because unless you want to watch me coach wrestling or do a podcast about wrestling, I don't fight anymore. So I'm sorry. I do tweet. Actually, I haven't been tweeting that much lately. I don't really like Instagram. I find Instagram to be kind of lame.
It's different now.
It's just, I don't think there's as much kind of back and Twitter. At least you can have a back and forth, semi-intellectual conversation type of thing. You can't always do that. I don't feel like you can do that on Instagram effectively. So if you want to see more of me, unfortunately, you probably won't because I don't fight anymore. I just coach wrestling, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. So sorry. Oh, I almost got him. Oh, yeah. Get that one. That's an ace. Oh, fuck. Right past it.